just continue to bless Poto Public Schools, Lord. Allow us to serve you, Lord. Allow us to do all of the things we do for our students and our parents and our community, Lord, and our teachers, Lord. Just allow us to do the best we can, Lord, and be a good example of what you would like us to be. In your Son's name, thank you. Amen.
Amen. All right, and then we have the PHS Anchor Team here to lead us in pledge.
You got to come up and introduce them first. Do all the spiel before you do the pledge.
I have a blurb.
Okay, good.
I have a blurb.
Come on up.
Somebody gave me the mic. I'm going to tell you a little bit about these guys, and then I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But good evening. My name's Ashley Taylor. I'm the licensed professional counselor at Poto High School, and tonight I am very proud to introduce the Anchor Team. The Anchor Team is a student leadership group that truly lives out the spirit of every pirate every day. These students are dedicated to creating a school culture where every student feels seen, supported, and valued. They lead with heart, serve with purpose, and represent the very best of what it means to be a pirate. Through their actions, they show that leadership is not just about titles, but about stepping up, helping others, and making a difference wherever they are needed. The Anchor Team works throughout the year to strengthen both our school and our community through service, kindness, and teamwork. They understand that even small acts of service can create a big impact. Whether they are encouraging younger students, volunteering their time, or helping improve our campus, they do it with pride and a willingness to serve others. Their commitment reflects the idea that when pirates work together, everyone benefits. This year, the Anchor Team has proudly participated in events such as Special Olympics, where they supported athletes and celebrated inclusion, Breakfast with a Buddy, where they built connections with younger students, the Poto Primary School Glow Dance, where they helped create a fun and memorable experience for children, school beautification projects, where they gave their time and energy to improve our campus, and Angel Tree Shopping, where they've helped make holiday season brighter for families in need. These are just a few examples of the many ways they work to serve every pirate every day. Tonight, we're honored to have these outstanding students represent Poto High School as they lead us in the flag salute. So, this is the Anchor Team.
Avery Snipes, Isabel Akers,
Kinley Taylor,
Bristol Hammonds,
Abigail Martin,
Amelia Spradley,
Jessica Collier,
Lexi Henson,
Christian Lowe.
We do have a few missing.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, thank you so much for being here and telling us about your organization. It's great to have clubs that are all about giving back. All right. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Here. Thank you to everyone for being here tonight. We appreciate your interest in Poto Public Schools. Support Employee of the Year.
All right, so support Employee of the Year. We're going to get to honor, but before we do, I do want Ms. Tillery to kind of talk to you guys about the process, what we went through, so that you guys can kind of see how we got to where we're at.
All right. Every month we have sites, certain sites, Mr. Kempnick determines at the beginning of the year, nominate their support employee of the month. And so those winners come before you every month, and they're recognized by the bank. And then we had the ones who chose to, which I think we had 16 support employees, and out of the 16, 14 applied to be the district winner, so that was great. So they fill out a little application about what their role means to them and how they feel like they've contributed to Poto Public Schools. And we have a committee composed of about 4 different people throughout the district and a rep from the bank who read through the applications and kind of narrow it down to the top 3. And it was very difficult, wasn't it? So anyway, we narrow it down to our top 3, and then from there, just have a rating system and select the final winner.
And First National Bank is the sponsor of this award, so come on up. And today we have Shelly Heavner. She's going to kind of give her little spiel. I don't know how long that'll be. We told her no more than 15 minutes, so she's going to limit it to that. And then we're going to get our winner up and take a group picture and be able to honor them.
Thank you. Like she said, all the applicants were really good, and it was a really hard decision. I wish we could have had every one of them a winner, but we couldn't do that. But unfortunately, we only had to choose one. So Support Staff of the Year goes to Stephanie Harris.
Stephanie, do you have a speech? Do you want to do a speech or anything? Okay, I just want to double check. We're not, it's really excited when we this like I'm here.
We're gonna sink.
Like the whole thing slanted.
Well, we appreciate you. I know you're always a smiling face and always eager to help, and enjoyed having you there when my kids were at the SEC. So, do we have any comments from the public?
No, ma'am.
Financial reports, encumbrances.
Yes, if you'll turn with me to your pink financial reports. We'll start with the month to date. In the general fund, when we compare it to last April, our revenue is down. That is due to some federal funding. We actually received some extra title funding and some extra 21st Century Summer, so we got to do a budget amendment, and they had to get approved. So our March claim just got approved in May and paid in May. So we did not receive it in April, so that's why it's down some. Our expenditures are down when you compare it to last April. And last April, we were able to purchase a 2024 Kia, and we also purchased the 2 mini activity buses in last April, so our expenditures are down. Looking at building fund, our revenue is up slightly, and that is due to an increase in our ad valorem. And our expenditures are up compared to last April. We have been working on that new athletic weight room out there, and I know Mr. Cochran will be talking more about that later. And we also was able to purchase a 80 kilowatt diesel generator in April. Child nutrition, our revenue is up, and that's due to an increase in our federal fund coming in. Our expenditures were down for the month of April. Last April in our child nutrition, we purchased some smaller items. We purchased desks, filing cabinets, can opener, and some other kitchen utensils that we were needing. If you will turn to the back side, we'll look at the year-to-date. Our revenue and general fund is down year-to-date, and it's both state and federal. State aid is down some, and then the school resource officer, last year we received 2 years in one. And our federal is down because of our prior year ESSER funds that were still coming in last year. But just to let you know, our ad valorem is up year-to-date so far. Our expenditures are up this year, looking at the general fund. We have increases in our salaries and benefits. We also purchased a ag truck. We've purchased 2 route buses and 2 electric route buses. Last year, we purchased 2 activity buses in June, so that will be coming, so that kind of offsets some of that expenditures year-to-date. Looking at revenue for the building fund, it is down slightly year-to-date, and that's because of the prior year ESSER fund that came in last year. Our expenditures in building fund are down year-to-date. Last year, we had the turf and the building renovations. This year, we've had a lot coming out, but it's been smaller items coming out, and we will still have additional items coming out of building fund this year. Child nutrition, our revenue is up year-to-date, and that is due to that local meat grant that we received this year. And our expenditures are up because we have purchased 2 serving lines, one at PKMS and one at Upper, and we will be getting another one installed in SEC later on. And if you look at our total operating balance, we are down compared to last year, but we have purchased a lot, and we have done a lot in our building fund. So, if you'll look with me at our encumbrances, starting with general fund. The first 3, 961, 962, and 963, are all for Pirate Quest. They're the supplies for summer school. The very next one, 964, that is our state share of our Medicaid. And just to let you know, we pay like 33.5% on that Medicaid that comes in. So we have to pay our share back to them. Hopefully that will finish us out for the year. Looking at the bottom, you can see there's several summer school meal reimbursements, and we have about 19 teachers that are going to be able to go to the posse training this summer. And if you look at page 2, it starts with the remaining of those teachers. Looking at almost at the bottom, PO number 1002 and 1003, those are both for our PHS STEM. We're trying to get our 412 money spent before the end of the year, so those 2 will be finalizing some of that STEM money. And then page 3 at the top, PO 1011 and 1012, those are both for summer school supplies for the students that will be here during summer school. And then PO 1020 is for our PHS track that got to go to state, so that's for their rooms. And we also had PO 1025 for the girls golf going to state, and then PO 1030 for the boys golf. So we've had a lot that were able to go to state, and we were able to pay for the rooms when they went. And then on page 4, about the middle, we have PO number 1045. That's for a mentoring grant that PKMS was able to get, and that's paying for some supplies and games that they'll be using with those mentors. And then PO 1048 is to do our janitorial supplies for summer. And then we'll look at the building fund encumbrances, and we have several this month. The first one is PO number 21, and that is for PSS, the PES roof, and I'm going to let Devin talk to y'all more about that. The next 2 are some of the remaining items on the new weight room. And then PO 24 and 25 are both for the field house restrooms and renovations there. And then PO 26 and 27, or PO 26 is for more weight room for the electric. PO 27 and 28 are both for Michael Riley, and that's to start us off looking at the HVACs, one at PES and one at UES that we'll be hoping to do next year. And then the last PO for building fund is PO number 29, and that's to First National Bank of Fort Smith. That is our remaining balance on our land. So I would like for that to be approved so I can go tomorrow and pay that loan off. That is within 2 years. So if you approve, we'll be able to pay that off. So, and which will save us a lot of interest. We've saved a lot already, and this will save us a little bit more there.
And that's the $1.5 million grant or loan. We have, the other one is $2 million. So basically the $2 million is laid out for the next 30 years. So we're paying, is it $44,000 something minimum a year?
We
on that
paid
one?
like $141,000.
141. So that's a very minimal for the next 30 years. And our goal is to get this 1.5 paid off and then start chunking the other one. Get one paid off first and start rolling to the other one. And worst case scenario, we got a very minimal payment on that. So we could let it go if we had to, but man, it's just interest. That's of that 140, 90% is interest at this point. So it'd be nice to start knocking that out as well, which the sooner we get it done, obviously, the less interest we pay. So glad to get one knocked out though.
And then the last one is our cafeteria. There are 4 POs there. PO 55 is our normal OPA food service for May. And then the last one, PO 57, is for our summer service for OPA. Does anyone have any questions?
Yoko? Yes. Adams? Yes. Sconiers?
Good evening. It is a pleasure to speak with you tonight about all the amazing things happening at Poto High School and to share the many accomplishments, traditions, and opportunities that continue to make our school and community so special. At the high school, we give CCRAs and ACTs to our juniors, as well as benchmark tests to all our grades. This allows us to assess mastery for all of our students. When we look at our performance on those tests as assessed on our A through F report card, we see that we are above state average in all categories. We are especially above state average in post-secondary opportunities and graduation rates. While we are still above state average in academic achievement and chronic absenteeism, and 82.87% of our students were in good attendance, as opposed to 78.14 statewide, we still have room to grow. While Poto High School has seen a decline in state test scores compared to previous years, the school has responded by implementing new initiatives designed to help students improve performance on both state test and the ACT. PHS is committed to continuous growth in providing students with the tools and support they need to be successful. One of our newest initiatives is the implementation of Wayground, a learning tool designed to help students strengthen academic skills and better prepare for the ACT. Through engaging practice, targeted review, and interactive learning opportunities, Wayground provides students with additional support in key tested areas. These efforts reflect the school's ongoing commitment to academic excellence and to ensuring students are prepared for success both during high school and beyond. One of our most promising statistics is the increased use of our library. As you can see, not only book checkout by students has increased, but also teacher collaboration with the library. Now to our pirate culture. Poto High School is committed to building not only student academics knowledge, but also a strong sense of community, tradition, and pride through the district motto, "Every Pirate, Every Day." Students actively participate in school culture through pep rallies, Veterans Day programs, concerts, art shows, and dress-up days, while also embracing new experiences like academic pep rallies and senior walks and school musicals. By blending both longstanding traditions with innovative opportunities, PHS creates an environment where students feel connected, valued, and proud to be a pirate. Poto High School is committed to supporting the whole student through academic advising, college and career guidance, mental health resources, and personal support. Through strong relationships, community partnerships, and a caring culture, PHS works to ensure every student is supported, valued, and prepared for success. The pirate culture extends beyond the high school years through one of our most valued programs, the Cove Crew. The Cove Crew is a transition program designed for students ages 18 through 22 that focuses on preparing students for success beyond the classroom. Through programs, students develop valuable life skills that promote independence, confidence, workplace readiness, community involvement. The Cove Crew reflects the commitment of Poto High School to support every student at every stage in their journey. By providing meaningful experiences and individualized opportunities for growth, the program continues the pirate tradition of ensuring that all students are equipped with the skills they are needed for future success. Those are some of our kiddos working at Whataburger. We just found out this afternoon that 3 of our students will be involved in the VIP program through Carl Albert State College. VIP is, Viking Inclusion Program, where they will attend college 1 day a week and also be able to attend high school. That is huge for those kiddos. We're super proud of them. Each week, students, parents, teachers, faculty, and staff receive a newsletter published by the administration at Poto High School featuring student accomplishments, important announcements, upcoming events, calendars, and other valuable information. What began as a way to keep the local community informed has grown into something much larger, with the newsletter now being read in 18 countries around the world. The widespread reach of the newsletter reflects the strong sense of pride, connection, and interest in the accomplishments and traditions of Poto High School. The pirate community. Poto became the first town in the Choctaw Nation to establish a school system in 1905. Built through strong community support, the district grew alongside the town through continued expansion and commitment to excellence. Today, that tradition of pride, resilience, and opportunity continues through the district motto, every pirate, every day. Poto High School proudly partners with community members and local businesses, not only for support, but also to provide mentorship and opportunities for our students. We are truly blessed to work alongside these outstanding partners in our community who invest their time, resources, and wisdom into helping shape the future of our students. These relationships strengthen connections between our school and community and continue the rich tradition of pirates supporting pirates. The faculty and staff at Poto High School brings more than 900 years of educational experience and are deeply committed to supporting the whole students academically, emotionally, socially, and personally. Through mentorship, encouragement, and genuine care, they exemplify the district motto, while helping students grow into confident and successful individuals. We are very proud of this year's Site Teacher of the Year, Ms. Nicole Cruz, who exemplifies all of those qualities. These are our seniors, some of whom are riding in the school bus for the very last time at Poto High School. Our commitment to students and community ensures that the proud traditions built over more than a century continue to thrive for generations to come. Through the spirit of every pirate, every day, PHS remains dedicated to building a future rooted in pride, excellence, and community. Thank you.
And Ms. Lamb, I know you've been integral in that newsletter that goes out, and that's been great. So thank you for your presentation.
Does anybody have any questions for the high school?
Just Discussion and vote to approve or not approve a stipend in the amount of $4,229.52 for SEC principal for additional summer days worked.
Yeah, so our principals, they'll end up working in May and June. When we hire someone, they don't start till July 1. So this is a stipend, a daily rate for 12 days for our SEC principal, which we haven't hired yet. We'll have an opportunity to hire him later today in this meeting. But this item is for that position. So we would need our principal to be working in May and June. We have COSA in May that person would have to attend. And then in June, they've got to get going as well. They can't step in July and be ready for August and have 1 month to get ready. So that's something we've done here, and we need to continue to do, because if you're going to lead a building, you need to be here in the summer trying to get that stuff figured out. So any questions on that?
Is there a motion?
I'll second the motion.
Roll call, please. Yes?
Yes.
Discussion and vote to approve or not approve the Oklahoma Teacher Empowerment Program for the 26-27 school year.
Yeah, so this is a yearly item. We didn't have any changes from the item from last year. It was the exact same item in your packet to this year, because we've got a pretty good thing going. This is the Oklahoma Teacher Empowerment Program. This is money that the state has set aside, and you have to fill out an application and be able to receive it. So for the last 2 years, our Teachers of the Year have received money from this application process, not from Poto Public Schools. So prior to 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I guess, our Teachers of the Year really did not get very much monetarily here. But now they're getting $4,500 if they're a site Teacher of the Year, and $7,500 if they're a District Teacher of the Year, which is a huge win. And it's a year lag, so we'll be paying next year's money to this year's Teachers of the Year, which is a retention piece for us. It makes sure that we're not losing our best teachers. They get Teacher of the Year and then bail on us. Well, no, they're going to pick up that check next year, so they need to be here. So it's a nice retention piece for us. And we have Miss Robin Stockton in our audience tonight. She was our District Teacher of the Year. So not only do we retain her for next year, but when she becomes a state finalist for the state, we would actually have another stipend for her the following year. So we would be able to secure those individuals for 2 additional years, unless they want to turn down a big chunk of money, which most people don't. So it's a good retention piece for us. And once again, this isn't Poto Public School money. This is money that was set aside from the State Department of Education that we had to write for and receive. So if there's any questions on the application, I can answer them, but it's from our end, we've got a pretty good process in place now to make sure that we secure that funds on a yearly basis, as long as it's available.
Any questions? All right, so second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve surplus items.
Yeah, so you've got 3 items in there. You got the PKMS, and that is a huge packet. Where's that packet at, Ms. Kelly? That big one that was for PKMS? So if you look at that, you certainly don't have to look through the whole thing, but she'll pass it around so anybody can look at it if they want to. That literally is 1,500 books from PKMS. So if you were to go through it, what you would see is a lot of really, really old books. Our average age, I believe, was 2002 from the average age of the books that we had in our library. And now it's 2005 after weeding 1,500 books. So it's a huge process. We just haven't been real good at weeding through books like we probably need to. We buy books every year, but we're not weeding books every year, and really what we should be doing in our libraries is weeding every year and buying every year, and we've just failed to do the weeding part. So there's a lot of data there, but ultimately we've got a lot of really old books, and we need to get through them and get new books in place. We do have a process in place for new books when we put them back into our libraries as well, because as you know, libraries books have been an issue in the PR side with public relations and all that stuff. So we are reviewing all of our books before they go back on our shelves, before we put them on our shelves. So it just takes a while. I was over at PKMS, and they had, I don't know how many books. They had a whole slew of books. So you don't happen to know how many you guys had in there that she's going through right now, do you? I mean, 500. So she's working her way through a ton of books right now to get on the shelves. So, and I do see, this will come back up here in just a minute too. So this is something that we're really working on, is trying to get our libraries more modern and up to date. We've just kind of fallen behind on that piece. So any questions on PKMS? There's a lot of stuff there. If we move down, the Poto High School soccer team is wanting to surplus old uniforms. This is actually quite funny. As she was going through the boxes, she found some really, really old ones. So she was talking to Miss Hopper, which played soccer in Poto. She was like, "What'd your uniform look like?" And she was like, she described it. So she pulled a picture out and she said, "Was it this one?" And she said, "Yes." So that was Miss Hopper's uniform in 1998 that she still has, that's in the surplus sale. So this is literally from the 90s that we're still trying to surplus items and be able to move them. And then
Acting like 90s was a long time ago.
it's so long ago. So there's a list of items that are broken from the primary, as well as another list of surplus books from the primary in your surplus there as well. So primary is doing the same thing. They're trying to get rid of some of their old stock. And I got a feeling we'll continue to do that because all of our libraries need to continue to purge the old books. When I was talking with Miss Holly at PKMS, she has had books that haven't been checked out for 2 decades. So like, you've just got to, at that point, move on. And that's kind of what she's doing with them. So any questions on any of the surplus items there?
Anyone else? Anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion we approve the surplus items.
Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve activity fundraisers for the 25-26 and 26-27 school years as presented.
Yeah, so these are both pretty creative, and I'm glad this first one's in there. So if you've been to our graduation, you know it gets hot sometimes. Even though it's 8 o'clock, it's still hot, especially there at the start. So Pirate Connect is wanting to sell water at graduation. I think that'll actually do pretty well as a fundraiser, so kudos to them. And then the Soccer Summer Pride is wanting to sell surplus uniforms from the 90s to whoever wants them. So I think that's unique as well. So kudos to them. Any questions on the fundraisers?
Is there a motion? Second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve a new activity fundraiser project for the primary school 3-year-old program. The project will be PES P3 Fund 854.
If you don't mind, Valerie, if you could cover 11, 12, and 13, I think they're all kind of right there together. Val's going to cover all these, but if you wanted to, we can vote individually on them as well. So however you guys want to do it. But
Just go ahead and read the next two then. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve changing the activity fund project names of the below listed projects as listed on your agenda. And discussion and vote to approve or not approve closing the activity fund projects for adult ed enrollment. This project has no remaining balance and will no longer be used.
Okay, so the first one is a new activity fundraisers for our 3-year-old program that we're getting ready to start. So we need to get a activity fund project assigned to them so we can collect money and pay for things. And then the next item is changing names. We no longer use the word dance, it's all POM, so we would like to change that. In the next 5 at the site, general activity, that is confusing a few people. This year we know we did online requisitions, and so we have our general fund, and then we say general activity, so it's kind of like, why don't we just change that name to site? So that's what we're recommending to do, is just like PES site activity instead of PES general activity. And then the last one, adult ed, will be going away after this year, and that activity fund has no remaining balance, so we would just like to close that one.
Does anyone have any questions about that? Entertain a motion.
I make a motion we approve it.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve out-of-state activity trips for PHS and primary.
yeah, so we have football, June 18th, wanting to go to Charleston, Arkansas for a team camp. You've got football August 20th, wanting to go to Mena, Arkansas for a scrimmage. And then you've got the primary elementary wanting to do a competition reward May 14th in Fort Smith. And when I talked to Christy about this, she wasn't 100% sure whether they're going to do it or not. They might go somewhere local, but would like to go ahead and get it approved just in case they want to have that option.
Anyone have questions? Want to make a motion? All right.
I'll second his motion.
Great. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve an out-of-state activity trip for the 26-27 school year for PHS.
Yeah, so we had to separate this from the top ones. The two above, no, 26, 27. So football above is 26, 27 as well, because the 820. So we separated it because we should have just put it all together probably, but it doesn't matter. We're still getting it approved. But we put 26, 27 on this one because Poto High School baseball team's wanting to travel to Florida, Sanford, Florida, to compete in a tournament. It's four guaranteed games for them, so it's a win, and get a chance to go over spring break next year and do that. They did that this year as well. It was a big success for them. They enjoyed it. They're raising the money for it. They're paying for it. So it's just an opportunity for our kids to get a chance to go out to Florida and get some games in, and a pretty cool experience for them.
Any questions? Motion? Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. Discussion and vote to approve or not approve an update to the current lease purchase agreement for property located at 2214 North Broadway Street, Poto.
Yeah, so on this document, you'll see that I've got green and red in there. The green are additions, the red are things that we're removing from the lease. So we had our current leasee from the salon move out, and so it was open. The current lease agreement people with the movie theater would like to acquire the other as well. So from our end, we were charging the same amount, so we're not losing any money, but we're not making money on this anyway. To be frank, it's not really a moneymaker for us. But you'll see that it goes from $1,000 to $1,600 a month for their lease. And this will go into the totals for them because this is a lease purchase, a balloon payment at the end that we've entered into with them. So you can see the total price there and kind of what we're saying. This will basically allow them to pay more towards the end. When they get to the balloon payment, they'll either be able to make the purchase or they won't. But this lease agreement really is just, that is the main adjustment. And there's some other little minor things in here that you can see we adjusted, but most adjustments have to do with the salon going to be a part of the lease to the Gathering Church now as well. So from the item you have, the contract you have, there were a couple of other little minor changes that are on the actual signed copy. Basically, on the page 7, you'll see the date at the very bottom. It was not accurate, so we fixed that. And on the very first page, the highlighted at the end of the very first paragraph, we moved that up underneath the title. So really nothing from the document you have to the one that we're going to sign except for just 2 little minor changes that we needed to make. But any questions on the lease agreement that we are wanting to enter into, continue to enter into with the movie theater, Gathering Church? We are currently under a lease with them. This just is a modification to that current lease.
Is there a motion then? All right, is there a second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. All right, discussion and vote to approve or not approve the following contracts agreements for the 26-27 school year.
Yeah, so almost all of these are annual items. If they're not, I'll let you know. But COSA, OSSBA member renewal, as well as employment services, those are all annual items. The membership for the first one and the second are basically the memberships for COSA and OSSBA, which we use quite often. The employment services, that is an annual item for the HR side of things that we use all the time. The NSEEK on item 4, that's our OT and PT. I've talked with Ms. Reed. They do a great job. When it comes to the finances, it's saving us money to use this third party. Sometimes it doesn't, but on this one, we can't hire the OT and PT and do it for what they're doing it. So, and they're doing a good job. So we'd love to keep them. On item 5 and 6, with Power School, the item 5, that is our evaluation tool that we use for all of our teachers. Item 6 is our robocall communication. So when you get robocalls and all that, that's the item 6 there, the school messenger. Item 7, that's the telemed service. We really haven't done a great job using that, to be frank, but we want to go ahead and just get it approved so that if we need it, we've got it. I would rather, have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And then item 8 and 9, Syllogist. Syllogist is our student information systems. So you'll see on item 9, that's basically our student information system, renewing that. Item 8 is our financial, the accounting software that we have. So all of these are yearly items so far. Go Guardian is another yearly item. That's our cyber system. So basically, Go Guardian provides security from the cyber attack side. We have Ms. Warren, our technology director. She manages all of that. She'll do all kinds of cyber emails out to our staff. They'll do audits. Basically, our staff is nonstop wondering if it's a cyber attack or if it's Ms. Warren messing with them through Go Guardian. So, which is good because we need to get our staff used to what they can open and what they can't. Especially when you're inside of a firewall like ours, you start opening the wrong thing, it can affect other things. So we need to make sure our employees know how to manage attacks. Item 11 is college career planning. That's encouraged. That's a free product that we use every year. It goes through and it basically tallies the kids and talks about what careers they want to be in and those type of things. So for example, from this year, health and medicine was the #1 field that our group of kiddos this year were interested in. 33.8% that took the survey said that would be the field they would like to go into, which is cool. And then item 12, which is the OPA food management, we never did get that one, so we're going to have to approve all 1 through 11 if you guys are good with that, but not 12. We'll want to probably have that back on the June board meeting. We were waiting for them to return it with the signature, and they didn't, so we'll have to approve it in June. Any questions on any of those? I know there's a lot there, but.
Not, I'd entertain a motion to approve 1 through 11.
Approve 1 through 11.
Is there a second?
Second is motion.
Roll call, please. Yes, except for 7, because I drafted that one. I abstained on 7.
Yes.
All right, facilities report.
All right, couple things since last month. One of the things, we do have a backup generator here. I think Val mentioned that in the expenditures. That's up and running, we got it commissioned and everything, so we have backup power here at this facility. The weight room, we've got insulation has been done. We are waiting on the interior metal to be done. So hopefully in the next week or two, we'll get that installed as well, and then we'll go follow that up with the electrical and HVAC part of that and plumbing. So hopefully, it's probably I'm hoping July. By July we're in there. Again, it all depends on scheduling with contractors and when they can get in. Primary gym roof, got that approved tonight, so we'll hopefully get that scheduled over the next few weeks. It's supposed to just take a few days to get that recovered and done. We did receive the new lockers for the 7th and 8th grade center. They're out in the back here. Once we get those, get kids out of the way, the next couple of weeks, we'll get those moved in proper locations and get those attached and installed. And then also the football field house public restrooms out front, we'll get those started demolition next week as well. So hopefully have those done. I know Coach Hayes needs those done by June 20th. So we kind of got that scheduled for demolition next week, flooring the following week, and then they can come back in and finish up. So we should be good on that time frame. So.
And
yeah.
just from a personal standpoint, really excited to get those restrooms renovated. I find it quite embarrassing when we have opponents come and to our schools and they have to go in the restrooms that we have. It's embarrassing for us. So I know we've done a good job of renovating restrooms across the district in different locations, but now I think we have more people that go in those football restrooms than anywhere else, any other restrooms in our district. So it's nice to get them renovated as well. So excited about it.
May I have any questions, comments? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your and Mr. Kipnick's, everybody's efforts to get our facilities looking how they need to be looking. So, superintendent's report.
Sure. Commencement plan. So graduation is the 15th, 8 o'clock. So Board of Education, Mr. Sconyers, you haven't done this piece yet. So 7:30 in the BLK lobby. So we'll meet up in the BLK lobby just like we have in the past, and from there we'll start making our way out. So, and the weather so far looks like it's going to be good. So cross our fingers and hopefully it stays good. Legislation. So a lot has happened. So last week we finally got the governor to start signing a pretty good amount of stuff. So I just want to go through some of the things that have been signed and will have impacts on us. So first is House Bill 2288. That's one involving retired teachers. So the way it used to be is retired teachers come back, they can only make so much money, and then, after so long, they can make full pay. But now, they'll be able to come back without any limitations on that, but they have to wait for 6 months, which is really tough, because if we have someone that retires at the end of the school year, they're not going to be able to come back until maybe in January, if, they can come back for second semester at the earliest, but more than likely it's a full year out. So a little scary on getting the retired teachers out into another field and then trying to lure them back into education. That could be scary. House Bill 1276, that is the cell phone ban, and it has been made permanent now. So moving forward, cell phones won't be in schools from bell to bell. So that's signed by the governor. Senate Bill 1481, this is a unique one that I'm glad we got our primary and upper people here, because this mandates 40 additional minutes of recess. So outside of your PE hours, we've got to have 40 additional minutes for recess. So I'm glad there are several bills out there, and I'm glad this one made it, because the other ones stated PE, which meant you would have had to have a certified person doing that, versus recess, you could have just, even a para out there with them just supervising them. So it does make a difference. We're not going to have to hire new people for that, but it will be challenging on trying to navigate our schedule to get that done. And, we'll see. It's grades K through 5, so it will have an impact in multiple buildings. So it's going to be interesting to see how we make that work, but we will. So Senate Bill 201, that's the teacher pay raise bill. It is signed by the governor, so it's going to add $2,000 to the minimum state salary. We're well above that already. Val and me are constantly crunching numbers. We're doing it again today, trying to see what numbers look like, trying to get the most accurate assessments we can, but not going to be a whole lot we can do about it. So we're going to figure out a way to make it work, and we'll go from there. We're not getting the money we need, though, to do pay raises for certified staff across the board. You can't pick and choose just teachers and say all the other certified librarians, counselors, administration, you guys aren't getting a pay raise. It's just going to be the teachers. Boy, that's really hard. So been talking with other superintendents as well, and I think everybody's just going across the board, all certified staff. That's the easy way to do it. And I think that avoids a lot of PR issues that we could have. So, but we're still talking through it and trying to see what that looks like for POTO. One of the factors that people aren't thinking about with that one is this is going to be a year lag because of the extra money that got put into the system from the state. It triggered more additional days. So next year we're fine. We'll be 166 minimum school days, but in 28 we'll be a minimum 173. So everybody in the state's adding 7 days to their school. Well, they're not getting extra pay in 28. They're getting extra pay next year in 27. So what we're doing now really is for 28 and beyond. So, it's kind of unique for us. We have extra days already, so it might not be as bad on our teachers. But in 28, I'm concerned that you're going to have across the state a lot of people add days to the calendar and teachers aren't getting a pay raise. And if it's not communicated properly, people are going to really be upset because they're getting a pay raise this year. That's really for next year. So I'll make sure that we have to communicate that really well out to our staff so that they're aware. When 28, we might have more days, probably not like everybody else, but if we do, We've already got paid for those. That's Senate Bill 201. And then House Bill 3151 is the 7 days. I think we're good on that. I want to go to State Question 832. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, and hopefully we got people watching on YouTube as well, or on Zoom, or whatever that is, and because we need to get this out. State Question 832 is going to hit the voters June 16th. Everybody in the state is going to vote June 16th for State Question 832. And what it is it's going to raise the minimum wage in Oklahoma. Okay, so if you're not familiar with this, this is what it's doing. In January 27, so in the middle of our year, the minimum that we can pay anyone is $12 an hour. We have people that are making less than $12 an hour in Poto public schools, so that's going to have an impact on us right off the bat. So we'll have to pass something from a board November or December for our January pay increase for support staff. Well, then fast forward another year to 28, and it's going to go to $13.50. So now we're going to have to adjust that. And then fast forward to 29, it's going to be $15. And then you fast forward to 30, there's going to be an adjusted amount every single year based on a national rate. I mean, we're going to be compared with the big cities, like everybody else, a national number that looks at inflation and adjusts the minimum wage based on that. So that's a very scary piece for us. So we're 3 years away from the minimum wage being $15 an hour in Poto public schools in Poto, America. It's going to have a huge impact in our state. Think about your small business. Think about all of these different factors that right now pay less than $15 an hour. And, you know, $15 an hour is the least it's going to be past 29. It's going to go up every year. So for us, me and Val were talking about this today too. We've got to get a dang plan in place moving forward on what that looks like. I'm really scared that what's going to happen is you're going to have wage compression across the state. You're going to have people that don't hire people because they can't. And so the number of employees are going to go down, unemployment is going to go up. You're going to have the people at the top end not get the raises they normally get because you're having to give it to the bottom end. So this wage compression is going to be a real thing in Oklahoma. And so for us, we'll have a game plan moving forward. We feel like we've already got a game plan for 27, what it looks like. But moving forward, it's going to be challenging for us because, you know, we've got from this $2,000 pay raise that we're talking about, Senate Bill 201, from that one, we're already going to be losing money next year from the pay raises. They're not giving the money to do it for everybody. They're just giving it the money for teachers. So we're going to lose money next year, and then moving forward past that, we've got to build in money for support staff moving forward. So it's going to have an impact on us just like it does everybody else. So you know, the principals are probably getting tired of me talking about every single position that they're looking at. I'm talking to every one of them like, hey, do we have to have that one? And there's several that have come to me this year on positions for next year, and we're not rehiring them because we're having to absorb them internally. We've got to start figuring out how to absorb positions because if we don't, you're going to have issues down the road. I'm not saying the sky's falling, but I'm saying we're in a good spot right now, and I want to stay in a good spot. That means we need to look ahead and see what's coming. And so this is what's coming. Now, maybe this doesn't pass, and my hope today is that everybody gets out there and we realize that minimum wage is a good thing, but the minimum wage in the state of Oklahoma, the data I'm looking at is over $11 an hour. That's the average minimum wage. I've looked at a ton of data. The actual salary for hourly employees is anywhere from $23 to $31 an hour in the state of Oklahoma. You have a ton on the top end. So our state has done a really good job on managing our minimum wage, but yet that's not going to matter. If you put a bill in that says everybody's minimum 15, 16, whatever it's going to be down the road, that's really going to impact Oklahoma. So, you know, I'm sorry, I know that's gloom and doom, but it's something that we've got to look forward ahead to. And I don't know how many of you guys are aware of this, but my hope is that our state really fights back against this and we can squelch it at the polls. But here's the data. From 1996 to now, there's been 32 statewide initiatives to raise the minimum wage. 32. 28 have passed. That's an 88% rate. So odds are this is going to pass June 16th. We're going to have our meeting June 11th, and we'll approve all of our salary indexes, all of our stipends. We're approving all this before this passes, and we're going to have to assume it's going to pass when we get all of our stuff done. We have to get it done before the July payroll starts. So anyway, just giving you a heads up. It's there's going to be some weird times ahead of us on how we deal with this. And from our end, we've already started. We started early trying to get ahead of this and try to eliminate as much, I don't want to call it waste or fat or any of that, because we got people that we're talking about. But we're trying to continue to cut as much as we can to get ready for what we see coming. So I know there's a lot there that was pretty deep, and I want to get into climate surveys too, but was there any questions on the legislation or on the finance piece that is coming because of legislation in State Question 832? Okay. On climate surveys, I sent that to you guys, and if you were to look through there, you'd see all kinds of stuff. I just want to point out a couple of items. Over the last 4 years, we've continued to improve our data. It's continued to improve, so, you know, this really goes through the climate. Jennifer, can you see what that is? But, you know, we've had 11 questions in various areas, and we've seen improvement in 7 of 11 areas from last year. So we are getting better. That's what the data is showing. We're pleased that we are getting good interaction on the surveys. We had a ton of people actually take the survey this year, which was a win. And then this June, we'll be meeting with all of our principals to go through the data from the climate surveys. The climate surveys, if you read through the comments and stuff, you'll see that some are positive, some are negative, which is the way it should be. We've got areas to improve at every single site, and we use the climate surveys as a tool to get better. So dang near every year, we're using climate surveys for adjustments that we need to make the next year. So we use it as a tool to help us get better. So any questions on legislation, commencement plans, or climate surveys? Thanks, Jennifer.
Do you have any new business?
We do have new business. So inside your folder, you have a document that looks like this. It's a SEC surplus. We got that today, so it was from the posting of the board agenda to today. That's what new business is, anything that we get after the hours. So on this item, it's calculators for the SEC. I talked to Angel today about this. They're wanting to replace their calculators with ones that are more accurate, like what the high school has for the ACT. You can use calculators on the ACT, but if they're in a different format or don't work the same, it really puts your kids at a disadvantage. So they're wanting to get everything aligned. As we surplus these, I didn't get a chance to talk with Angel on what we're doing with them once we surplus them, but I've already sent an email to Angel, and we'll have that discussion later this week to make sure that we handle our surplus items correctly. So that's the only new item that I have.
Do you have a motion for the SEC surplus items?
I'll make a motion to approve the surplus item from the SEC.
So, okay. All right. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. All right, entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make a motion we go into executive session.
Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes. right, the board met in executive session to discuss personnel items pursuant to Title 25 Oklahoma Statute Section 307B1. No other matters were discussed. Those present were the board members, Mr. Kipnick, and for a short time, we had Mr. Stockton with us. No motions were made, no action was taken. The board returns to open session at 7:14 p.m. I would entertain a motion to approve 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 with the exception on attachment H of Mr. Bravo while we wait the necessary documentation.
And can we go through the names real quick on who we're hiring on item 28?
Absolutely. Sure. So for Tier 1 paraprofessional would be Brittany Hedges, 7th and 8th grade principal, Mr. Alan Stockton, 5th and 6th grade teacher, Dallas Hughbanks, and 4th grade ELA teacher, Kelly Looper.
Move that we approve.
Okay?
Where you started.
Okay. All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 All right, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second? All right, roll call, please.
Yes.